Hi guys, welcome to another screen review. I hope you're all doing very well. We're going right back to early days of cinema for tonight's one. I've just finished watching King Kong, the 1933 movie. I've seen it like as a kid and growing up, but I've never really paid attention to it, or never really seen it from start to finish without kind of interference. So yeah, it's like I say, it's a bit of a cult classic because of certain things that happen in it. I'd just like to give a quick review of it and my thoughts of the general kind of overall film and everything. For example, I've watched it on an AVI or an MPEG-4. I can't remember what file it was, but it was basically just a general kind of video file on my PC. But it is available to stream on certain services. Give me a few seconds and I'll get it up as to what services it is available on. I'm not sure if these are in the UK and the US or anywhere the kind of around the world or just in specific countries, but they are available on HBO Max, Amazon Prime, iTunes, Vudu, IVUDU. Apparently it's on Google Play to buy, Microsoft to buy. There are some edits of it on YouTube, and I do mean edits. The film itself, from start to finish, is back to 144, 145 minutes, but there are a few very poorly edited versions on YouTube that are around 115 to 135 minutes long, or 1 hour 35, 1 hour 15, 1 hour, you know what I mean, 1 hour. 135. It's 1 hour 45 minutes long, and these edits are about 1 hour 15 to 1 hour 35 minutes long. And they are very poorly edited, like literally cutting off half like mid-sentence and so on. And then towards the end it just completely cuts out and goes blank. But say they are available on those other streaming services. Obviously, it's available to buy on Blu-ray, DVD, VHS. If you wanted to go old school, probably remasters of them on Blu-ray. But yeah, no, that's where it's available, and I was saying so that's where I got mine from. I just literally just one that I came across amongst stuff. My review of it itself is as follows. I found the acting very cardboardy and stiff. Like, yes, hey, you there, yes, kind of thing. There wasn't any real kind of flow to it. It was as if they just read the script for the first time. Anne, that's the main woman in it. She looks very plain. I don't know if that would have been how people would have preferred to have looked back in the 30s, whether that was kind of what was considered attractive in the 30s, I'm not sure. But she's certainly not anything special in today's looks department. Something that made me laugh was excuse me. Something that made me laugh was the way that Driscoll, one of the film production crew or cabin crew or whatever, I can't remember which one he was. The way he kind of like tipped his hat up at the end, at the edge, after kissing Anne for the first time. It was to say like, yes, I scored, kind of thing. It just made me giggle. A very kind of filmy kind of thing to do. We don't see Kong until just over 46 minutes into the film. And he seems quite small in comparison in this film, in comparison to like the sequels and remakes and reimaginings and stuff like that. For example, like the Peter Jackson one, it seems quite small in comparison to that. Another thing that made me laugh was the way the kind of African-y, chiefy kind of person, it sounded like he kept saying mashed potato. I don't know what he was saying, but it sounded so much to me like mashed potato, which kind of made me laugh. You've got like some really cheesy scenes, and it's like when they kill the Stegosaurus and they walk past him, you can so tell that they are walking on a treadmill, and the film is just kind of moving past this kind of plasticine model. You know, it's so cheesy. It's brilliant. The way they do it though, it's brilliant. And then a bit later on, Kong swims a river, and they just happen to make a raft with strategically placed logs. You know, it's like, yes, they weren't put there on purpose. Another kind of little cheesy thing. It is, when you look at it, a very cheesy movie. It's a good movie, don't get me wrong. It does deserve its cult kind of status, but it is one of these kind of movies where things just happen to fall kind of in line and in place just quite easily. We see two real kind of dinosaurs, not real, but you know what I mean, as in kind of famous kind of dinosaurs. We've got the Stegosaurus, and then there's like either a Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus or Diplodocus or something like that, one of the giant ones. And they both come across as being kind of carnivorous in the film. Even though in today's kind of thing, back then they probably wouldn't have conceived that dinosaurs could be herbivores or whatever. So like dinosaurs will see these kind of huge, kind of meat eater, carnivore type things. But obviously we now know that Stegosaurus and one of the big ones, whatever it was, are actually herbivores. Yet in the film, obviously they're depicted as these great big kind of crazed killing machines. An hour goes into the film, and we're still chasing Kong. We still haven't captured him after, up to an hour. At 1 hour, 2 minutes and 8 seconds, we finally get a bit of action. Like one of the most famous scenes in it is the T-Rex fighting scene. I'd say that happens at 1 minute, not 1 minute, 1 hour, 2 minutes and whatever seconds. Doesn't last long. It only lasts like a couple of minutes, but it's long enough to be really famous, and be kind of such an iconic scene of the film. And then at 1 hour, 10 minutes and 18 seconds, we have the second famous scene, which is the snake scene, the snake fight. Again, it only lasts a matter of seconds this time, like a minute and a half or something like that. And again, that is long enough to be considered a very cult kind of scene. At 1 hour 24, almost dead on, they finally capture Kong on the beaches. And basically all the action then happens mainly in the last kind of 20 minutes of it. Because from there, it sort of skips like to the future, like not to the future, but skips kind of forward. Like they've got back from the island and they've kind of captured him and set up all this press interviews and everything, and that's when he goes crazy and escapes and goes up the Empire State Building, and that all happens, like I say, in the last 20 minutes. It happens quite quickly. It's kind of like a rapid rollout after that point. So yeah, it's all good. Excuse me there. Yeah, and then obviously he kind of falls off the Empire State Building and gets saved and blah 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 blah, and then it goes, no, it was beauty that killed the beast. And I'm like, yeah, the whole film is set up to be like as at the beginning you've got like a proverb about Beauty and the Beast and so on, and especially the whole premise of the film is that this beast is overcome by such beauty, faced out there, that he is willing to die for it, kind of thing, sacrifices his life, whatever. But anyway, that's the review. Obviously, it's only kind of a black and white kind of thing. It's not a colour film. Obviously, it's like a colour gradient kind of thing. It's not black and white. It's like a colour gradient. Very kind of murky kind of colouring, because it's like an early film. But for that kind of thing, it's quite cool. I would give it possibly, I've now seen it properly, about a 7 out of 10. Acting is really low. Acting is only getting like a 3 or 4 out of 10 because the acting is so kind of cardboard and stiff and kind of not realistic at all. It's not very believable. Special effects, they still stand the test of time. A good 7 or 8 out of 10 for that. These are kind of like early days of special effects, so you've got to respect those kind of things. But overall, only about a 7 or 8 out of 10 for the entire film. And that's it. That's where my review ends, and that's where I shall end it. I hope you've enjoyed this little review. I'll see you all in another one whenever I get around to watching another movie or TV series or anime or whatever. Take care of each other. Goodbye.